This is my first stint doing some high school sports broadcasting, but I'm looking at this facility. You just mentioned this. This facility rivals the Division II college I went to college at back in Missouri. So it just shows you the difference in playing levels, if you will, at different levels of the atmosphere in athletics. I mean, this is a very well-known, very tradition-rich high school here at Oaks Christian, and this is a wonderful facility. So I'm glad that I learned more about their track and football stadium tonight from
Well, I
you,
didn't even
Patrick, because I
mention the
didn't even know.
cheerleaders are on the Ashton family track. That's where they are lined up tonight. And yeah, you mentioned that storied history of modern day Oaks Christian as well. You name the sport, they're producing top flight athletes at the Division I level onto the professional leagues.
Yeah.
Just a name of note, Jimmy Clausen. Now I guess you would call him a journeyman NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
A former Oaks Christian signal caller. Modern day, 2 former Heisman Trophy winners.
There you go.
John Huarte, 1964 Notre Dame, and then Matt Leinart. USC, 2004. As the coaches go over last-minute strategies.
And I was looking at some readings this afternoon of other notable players from modern day, players that have gone on to UCLA, all types of levels of Major League Baseball. Athletics seem to be very strong at modern day.
They make the drive up from Orange County, playing in the Trinity League down there. So this is a non-league matchup, as Oaks Christian represents the Marmonte League. A battle of freeways, the 101 outlying the school here. We can see it overhead. I don't know if you can see it on your monitor. And Santa Ana, right off the 5 here in Southern California. We are getting ready for kickoff. Number 1 lining up for modern day. And the kick lands through the hands of the Oaks Christian returner.
Are they going to call it down there?
And it looks like the referees will mark it to the 10-yard line. At the freshman level, just learning these players, we'll be getting these names to you as they come, as we kind of match them up on the field with what we have.
On our phones, no less.
On our phones.
We're working with technology tonight, so bear with us as we call out the names here as Oaks Christian gets set to take the first play of this opening period of action.
Number 12, Patrick Roberg at quarterback for Oaks Christian, I see. Shotgun formation. He looks right, fires it right away to number 85. High tackle, then he goes down and, loses the ball, but it looks like he hit the ground first.
And that's 85, James Hendricks, you mentioned. A great little screen pass or a great little screen out right there. Quarterback took a couple steps back to his right. James rolls out towards the out-of-bounds line and gains a few yards on the play.
2nd and 5 from our PA announcer here, giving us that information as number 28 does a little spin behind his quarterback, lining up on the left shoulder.
You got 3 wideouts at the top of your screen up here. Look for a pass there.
Takes the handoff low. Back to 85 again. He likes that target early, but brought down by 2 defenders from modern day.
And you saw a great play there. They went strong side on the far side of the field, 3 wideouts to 1 on our downhill side here. So he knew he was going that way. Good fake handoff to the running back. And again, James Hendricks is 2 for 2 on his catches tonight. And we're down to 3rd down and 2 to go.
They stick with that shotgun this time, right up the middle on the running play.
And I'm not sure if he got the first down there.
As the refs blew the whistle with the forward motion.
That's 28, Mr. Williams, not to be confused with an abbreviation for a first name. His first name is Mr.
You're correct.
And it looks like he did not get the first down, so it's 4th and 2. We're going to see a punt here.
That's one way to command respect. Name yourself Mr.
And no matter what age he is, he's always going to be Mr. Williams.
So going back to work this Oaks Christian offense from their own 18-yard line. Well, the punt formation, sorry. And that's a low kick, almost looked intentional as it trickles down past the 40 to about the 45.
And that's going to put, I don't know if it was an accidental boot kick. Surely that wasn't on purpose, but that gets modern day starting off in Oaks Christian territory. So not probably a planned kick there, but modern day has good field position to start their first play of this first opening period.
Our first look at the offense of the Monarchs as we find out who their quarterback is. They operate under center.
Oh, it
at
looks
least
like
to
we
start.
got a jump there. And that's against Oaks Christian. They drew him offline. You got to watch the ball and not listen for the sound. So Oaks unfortunate there. Moving forward 5 yards for Mater Dei.
So now before they even get a playoff,
we haven't had
they're at the
running.
40.
Yeah, they've already gained 5 yards without even a pass or a run. So
and that's Nathan White at quarterback number 7 for the visiting team. They go to the running game. He's got some room on the left side, number 24.
Oh, what a hit.
Barreling over a tackler. Almost breaks another one. Brought down at about the 27-yard line.
Joe John Collins.
What do you got?
I'll say Joe John. I think that's his first name. Collins, the running back there from Mater Dei, just had that great run. Great block on the left side of the field. They took out one of the front line there for Oaks Christian going up the left side, another first down. So they ran one play and have 2 first downs.
I think it's Joe Juan Collins.
That sounds better.
Let's go with that.
I don't think I can read this handwriting here on this picture. So
these are handwritten rosters. And now Nathan
I apologize
White.
to the Collins family if they see this. So sorry about that for mispronouncing the name of your son.
That's okay. White,
if it was Mr., it'd be easier.
Exactly.
No.
Checking his wristband for the play. They go back under center. The 2 running backs behind. He hands off to the deep back, number 24. Collins again. This time he stays upright. Makes a little turn inside. Gains an extra 2 or 3 yards on that. Brought down at about the 16.
So what we're seeing here early is, of course, Oaks Christian came out with the passing game to start the game. Mater Dei's like to keep it on the field, and with an offensive line to be able to create space for running back like that, you might as well keep it on the field, keep it on the ground.
He's getting the opening right when he gets to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Looks to be, at least at this point, more of an upright runner.
Yeah.
So a strong offensive line, at least in the early going.
And they're in the red zone here.
For Mater Dei.
Mater Dei is threatening to score here early in this first period.
2 wideouts for the quarterback, White. This time the pitch back to Collins. Collins looking to beat his man around the corner, and he does, to the 10, to the 5, making a move as he gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that didn't take too long right there. 3 consecutive running plays to the same running back. It looked like they just switched the side. They did pitch to the right this last time. The first 2 plays were strict runs to the left, handoffs. This was the pitch. But now Mater Dei has an early 6-0 lead. If they can get this field goal in, it'd be 7-0 lead over Oaks Christian.
On for the extra point is the kicker, number 1.
Richard Lopez set for the point after.
Richard Lopez.
Thanks to the PA announcer for that help. Oh, it's
and a bad snap. Lopez trying to chase it down. He falls on it at about the 23-yard line. So it'll just be 6 for the visitors. Hopefully that doesn't come into play for them later on, as this game, given these teams' ability to put up points, could be close down the stretch. We'll take a look at that. Going back to Collins on that drive, that was a 16-yard touchdown run. I believe he had all the yards on the drive as well, so it was a 40-yard rushing drive for Collins himself.
Yeah, absent the quick penalty that they got to move the ball forward 5 yards, that was an all Collins play, an all Collins scoring drive right there. You're exactly right. And if Oaks looks to something we're seeing early here is the intensity by Mater Dei, attack. They're hitting them right down the middle and the outside of these lines. They're taking out Oaks Christian's defensive line there. So Oaks Christian have to step up their defense if they want to hold Mater Dei to a high-scoring game tonight.
And that's the thing, if they continue to move the ball on the ground, they're going to eat a lot of clock as well.
Yes.
So they're going to want to answer back as quickly as they can.
That whole offensive stint from Mater Dei right there took about less than 2 minutes. So efficient leads to scoring.
So Lopez, who didn't even get a chance to attempt the extra point, now on for the kickoff. And he boots this one down to the 4-yard line, retrieved by number 3.
That's Ty Shamblin.
He makes a move. He gains about 19 on the return.
That's Ty Shamblin on the return there for Oaks Christian. He's small. If he can get in the open field, I think he could turn on the jets and get to going down the other end. But good coverage there by Modern Day on the kickoff to stop Oaks from moving forward much. So it's Oaks ball here on their 21-yard line, first down. Opening period here at the game. Just over 8 minutes left. 6-0 Modern Day.
Connor Kershaw at quarterback. Number 7, a lot of pressure from Mater Day. Unless I'm mistaken, the last drive was Patrick Roberg, number 12.
On the quarterback?
Yes.
I believe you're right. So it looks like they may have changed then the quarterback, and maybe they should go back. They had, 2 successful pass plays Oaks did to start their first drive earlier. And this time he rolled out for a pass play, but the pocket just collapsed on him, wasn't able to keep him safe.
Now facing a 2nd down and 14. 4 wide out, split out.
What a
wobbly pass, but a great catch.
What a catch in the head.
He's needed and touch
nobody
the ground.
got him. He's needed and touched the ground. He's
pass
not down.
midfield to the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. He is going to reach the end zone.
What awareness.
So that is why you finish plays, folks.
And that's Ty. If I can get his name again. Bryce Farrell.
Number 23.
Number 23. What great awareness there to take. And he took a heck of a hit. And I don't know if they would have played that back for you guys at home, but that hit, we heard that clear up here in the booth. And he didn't even, his knee did not touch the ground. He was able to collect himself, stand up, and run for the touchdown.
Even the initial play was kind of a wobbly pass that
it was a horrible pass.
He was able to retrieve
catch.
the ball, pull it in, and the tacklers just didn't finish the play. And he was in the open field, and
no good.
Another extra point that does not go through.
Wide left.
And we're tied at 6-6.
And that kick, I know it's a chip shot for a freshman kicker, but kicking into the wind, this wind will play effect tonight. That's one of the things that Mater Day is going with the wind to start the game. Oaks Christian is going against the wind, but the wind did not play a chance there. A difficult pass made by the quarterback. The pocket was collapsing. He got the pass off to Bryce. Bryce took that heck of a hit right into the shoulder pads and the upper chest, fell down on his rear almost, collected himself, realized that his knee wasn't down, and scored. So we now have a tie game, 6-6.
I have that as an 82-yard touchdown play. The pass made by Connor Kershaw and the catch made by Bryce Farrell. Not your conventional 80-yard bomb. It was mainly a catch and run, and I got to say, the defense did not finish the play. That is why you tackle. That's why you tackle low.
And it looked like he just got sandwiched between 2 of Mater Day's defenders, and neither one of them were able to wrap him up. And again, I think the distraction came from the ball not being placed correctly, so they may have been trying to look their heads up.
Short kickoff here by Oaks. And number 6 finding a little bit of room up the middle, up the crease. He's going to race the kicker down the right sideline, and just like that, we've got more points on the board, as answering right back is Mater Day with that long kickoff return for a touchdown.
And if this is the tempo that tonight's game's going to be, we're in for a barn burner tonight. I mean, now you've got 2 scores from Mater Day in less than 3 minutes. Before that, you had a bobbled pass collected by a great receiver and a great receiving catch from Oaks. So now you look at the score, it's 12-6. The last 2 scoring plays from Oaks and now Mater Day, unconventional scoring. So defense is going to have to figure out a way to stop these opportunities.
That was Elias Ricks on that long return. We had a similar play last week in the Simi Valley varsity game where we talked about on kick coverage. He misplayed the ball initially as the extra point goes through for the first time today. And we're looking at a 13-6 ball game in favor of the visitors from Mater Day.
You were saying about Simi Valley last week?
So we saw Ricks on that play kind of misplay the ball, but because of the coverage team rushing down, the misplay helps the play itself because the team has now overran him, and all of a sudden a crease creates in the middle of the field. You saw him see that crease, take it up the middle, and then it was a matter of just racing down the right sideline. He only had the kicker to beat and found himself in the end zone. Yeah,
anytime you can, it doesn't matter how the score happens as long as it happens. But, yeah, I mean, if you get a crease collapse like that or a distraction happens, he made a good juke move, too, when he first caught the ball. He fumbled the ball when he first picked it up off the turf one-handed. made a couple juke moves, and then saw a crease opening up on the right side, and away he went.
So 7:05 to go in the first quarter. 13-6, the Monarchs lead over the Lions. Kickers getting a workout early with the extra points and the kickoffs. Richard Lopez back on. Right down the middle of the field. That one is going to go into the end zone, and they will take the touchback.
So this is going to be the furthest starting position for Oaks with the touchback at the 20-yard line. So we'll see if they can get some more offense going here. I know the last play, like we talked about, juggled on the pass, bad pass to the receiver, but we're going to see if they're more structured here on this offensive stint.
And Roberg back in at quarterback, so I don't know if that's a strategic thing or there was an injury. I think they just go with different looks. We saw Connor Kershaw on the last drive throw that long touchdown pass to Bryce Farrell. Now they go back to the shotgun with Roberg.
And they've got 4 wideouts, 2 on each side, so look for a pass play here.
A low snap, bad snap, he falls on it. And luckily, no damage done other than the loss of yardage.
Yeah, just an unfortunate snap there and the quarterback wasn't able to pick it up and still look downfield. And you know, again, credit Mater Dei, their defense is getting in so quick to that quarterback. I mean, Oaks Christian's offensive line has got to be able to keep a pocket protected for at least 3 to 5 seconds to let the quarterback get a good look downfield. If they're going to stick with the passing game, which it looks like that's what they're going to do.
Man in motion. And a flag.
False start. Against Oaks.
You are correct.
Goodness.
Pushing them back.
So right now, Oaks is their own worst enemy, unfortunately. You know, they've had 2 penalties now that have brought them back. They had a penalty at the opening part of the game that let Mater Dei move forward. So I don't know, besides that 82-yard run on total yards, you're taken away from that. So, you know, Oaks has got to, and coach calls a timeout here to get his team corralled and calm back down.
Yeah, facing a 2nd and 21, they're going to have to re-strategize what they had in mind for this drive early on.
And you go back to that, whether it's a strategic play or he was hurt, but the swapping of quarterbacks, I would say that's probably something in a game plan. I mean, you didn't see much of the change in the offensive line. The still same offensive set came out, same formations were going on. So I would think if you're changing quarterbacks, I think maybe he was injured, not strategic. If it was a strategic play, I think you would see a different lineup for the quarterback for him to be used to. So maybe number 12 was injured for that last play, but Oaks scored, so now 12's back in. He is 2 for 2 on his passing attempts today.
Yeah, we'll try to gather that information and see if that is a move that they usually make in game. You never know. They want to give a different look. Even if they are similar quarterbacks, they want to work out both these arms at the freshman level and groom them as they move up the ranks here. JV and varsity. They take their football seriously here at Oaks Christian.
Wide formation, 3 on the bottom of your screen, 1 at the top.
Roberg rolling out as he's under pressure. Hits number 3, big hit at about the 13. Another flag flying in the end zone.
And it looks like that Mater Dei may have got a hold of the quarterback after he let go of the ball. So let's see what the call is here. But yeah, big hit on there on Ty Shamblin. Another big crack here we heard up here in the booth. So great hit by.
Gonna have to retrieve these numbers on the defensive side of the ball
yeah,
too. Give them some credit for these hits.
Offensive personal foul against Mater Dei. He got a hold of the quarterback after he threw the ball. That's a no-no at any level. So that moves him up to a first down.
Big bailout as they are now at the 29-yard line. Robert. 1 back set. 4 wideouts. Man in motion again.
Defensive shift by Mater Dei in the backfield.
This time they go to the running game, and all over it is that defensive line.
And you see the frustration there by the quarterback, number 12, Patrick Roberg. He just, you know, as soon as he got the handoff to the running back, the defense was there. Just very frustrating. I understand his frustration. You know, he's trying to get some momentum going here. Offensive line's unable to create a pocket, so his frustration continues early on in this first period.
Number 25, Dean Neely got in there on the play, along with his teammate, making that tackle. Aberg looking for room on his left, and he goes across the middle of the field to Hendricks. Hendricks barreling down to about the 47-yard line as they go back to the tight end. That was the man they saw on the first 2 plays of this game. Took a little break from him. Maybe Mater Dei forgot about him for a moment as they get it all the way. The referees mark it at the 46-yard line with 5:37 to go in the first quarter.
Great first down play right there. Great run up the middle, or pass up the middle to Hendricks. I think you're right. I think Monterey's forgot about him. He capitalized on the mistake.
Roberg, this time to his running back with a nice one-handed grab off his back shoulder, and he hangs on to it as a swarm of tacklers from Mater Dei get to him around the sideline 48-yard line, now in the territory
Now
of the Monarchs.
they're getting momentum. I think that timeout helped them. They were able to collect themselves. The personal foul in the end, when Oaks Christian got the personal foul on their quarterback that moved them to the first down. Now they're going forward. They've got some momentum here. Let's see if they can keep going down the field. 5 yards left to go to get the next first down, and they're only trailing by 7.
And it looks like a conscious choice with the play calling to get different players touching the ball to set up and look,
what
look
a
at that.
play. Good.
As
good
he faked
fake.
the pitch and then goes right at the middle, Roberg.
And that was kind of a late hit there from Mater Dei's number 6.
And that's another look we have not seen. We have not seen Roberg on the keeper rolling out to his left, faking the pitch. We saw them go to the tight end. We saw the screen pass. We saw them go to the receiver. So keeping this Mater Dei defense on their toes.
Very much so.
As Oaks Christian.
Very much so. And what a great play there by Roberg to his offensive line. I think they've threatened the pass enough that now Mater Dei has to scoot back. Their secondary has to scoot back a little bit. That opens up the offensive line to create a pocket, and that's how he got that first down.
So the ball just past the nose of the Lion logo here. Low snap. Roberg looking. Here comes the rush as he jumps over. We see another flag in the backfield, and we have a hold on the offense.
It's amazing to me how, and this is in no way a criticism of the officials, but I mean, you've got to be on it, to be an official. And I couldn't even see anything that was a hold there against Oaks Christian. But that's not what he didn't see what I didn't see, so it's going back a little bit.
Cool breeze now coming in as game time temperature seems to have dipped just a bit.
He moves the ball back to the 45-yard line. First and 10 Lions.
See if they can make up for that hold there here on this play.
Facing a first down and 23 to go. Roberg in the shotgun. That pressure
Collapses
right number
again.
73 for Mater Dei with the sack.
And it's hit and miss. You have 2 or 3 stints that Oaks Christian is able to carry out that allows them to move the ball forward. It's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back right now for Oaks Christian. So we're going to see what happens here in this next play.
Salazar, you saw with the big bear hug, bringing the quarterback down.
And a good spin move by him, Salazar, to get off that Oaks Christian offensive lineman. Spin move, the quarterback's there. He was able to wrap him up.
Last second substitution on offense for Oaks, bringing in number 26.
And that is Dylan Natcher checking into the game, and he'll be in the backfield, it looks like, back with the quarterback, Roberg. Lining up in a running back formation, split, looks like. Something
and
downfield
he's keyed
here.
on Salazar. And down the middle of the field. And missing a
fortunate
gift.
Fortunate gift there. Thank you.
For sure INT by Nathan White, the quarterback of Mater Dei. You'd think he'd be on the hands team, was not able to hang on to that one. And bailing Roberg out of trouble there. They brought in 26, who made a nice block to at least contain Salazar, who was rushing again. And Roberg had room, but that ball was right into the hands of the defense of Mater Dei. And luckily, Oaks Christian getting another chance on 3rd and 28 here.
Yeah, that's a fortunate miss. Interception there in a good favor for Oaks Christian. Let's see if they can capitalize. 3rd and 28, long way to go.
Another low snap, Roberg. That pressure coming again. And
he shakes it off. He's still on his feet.
He gets around end number 35.
Looking downfield still. There's
throwing
a play.
Across his body.
Oh, what a catch.
It at the 45. But
and that's a hold against, that shouldn't be a hold against Mater Dei. So you're looking at possibly a big first down here. What a way for Roberg to create and move out of the pocket. He felt it collapsing, rolls all the way back further than he probably made forward progress. Finds a way to finds a way to get to an open receiver down the field, and then completes the pass. And now it's a personal foul or something against face mask against Mater Dei. So that's an automatic first down.
So that's Bryce Farrell on the broken play, helping his quarterback out, running back to the ball. A nice throw across his body made by Roberg. Farrell had that 82-yard touchdown earlier and comes up with another big play here as we have another timeout on the field.
And I think that last time out helped Oaks. I don't know which one took it here, if it was Oaks or Mater Dei, but you know, you're seeing a hit and miss rhythm here with Oaks. I think this last time out helped them out. They had the penalty in their own end zone that brought them out to a first down. They moved forward quite a bit on that play. Had the unfortunate penalty that brought them back. Now penalties are in effect now helping Oaks Christian, along with that long pass play by Roberg to get to the ball to the middle of the field. 1st and 10 now, first down, and you got 2 minutes 45 seconds left here in the first period. Chance to tie the ball game.
Looks like we have some latecomers coming into the stand as well, about 10 or 20 more crowd members for the home team.
It's the same effect at the Dodger Stadium and Lakers games, right? They come in about the start of the second half is when they get full.
I can't comment on that.
That's something I've seen only living out here the short amount of time is whenever I watch a Dodger
Southern
game.
California
There's
audience.
definitely more people in the stands at Dodger Stadium in the 6th inning than there was in the 1st inning.
First down and 10 at the 33-yard line. Warburg seeing something in the defense, pointing it out to his blockers. The handoff, 28 up the middle, maybe a gain of 1 or 2.
Handoff goes to Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams again.
Joseph Wurzbach on the tackle.
You know, there's something interesting on that last play that the far defensive tackle for Mater Dei came through unblocked. No one on that left side blocked him, and I think if they had a blocker on the left side, you would have seen more yardage there. But we'll see how they adjust here.
3 wideouts.
There's a block.
Takes the handoff. And the ball's loose in the pile. I believe an offensive lineman has retrieved it for Oaks Christian. We'll see. Number 77.
Roberg on the quarterback keeper.
Coming up with it.
Lamar Ludi
Miles Moreno on the tackle.
landing on the loose ball there, keeping it in Oaks Christian possession. 2nd and 15 here. We're just under 2 minutes left in the first period.
3rd down now.
3rd and 15. That's why there's 2 of us up here to correct the mistakes.
38-yard line. Cornerbacks teased playing close, but then dropping back is number 4 as he gets a hand on it.
And that pass was intended for number 5, Donovan Davis.
So I watched him from the jump on that play. If he had stayed back in coverage, he may have had an interception.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think he came up on number 5 Davis the last bit of it. If he had stayed falling back and played more of a zone back there, he would have had an INT. You're exactly right.
But then who knows if Roberg would have thrown the same ball.
Exactly.
One of the mysteries of life.
Exactly. We'll never know. So here we are. Are they going for it? 4th and 15.
Down and 15.
Coach taking a gamble here. Let's see if it pays off. Roberg's ready.
2-back set. They brought 26 in again. He seems to be their pass blocking
Good
specialist.
snap that time. Slipped a little bit. Roberg
And
did.
Roberg, not a lot of room, throws it, and
I think we might get bailed out again here. I think either a face mask or a personal
Tackle is
foul
incomplete. There's a penalty flag on the 43-yard line.
against Mater Dei. Let's see what the officials say here. And a lot of stuff happening there at the end, and that's the thing your defense doesn't want to do is bail them out when they have them trapped. They had Roberg cornered and trapped there on the out-of-bounds line. He threw an errant pass. Had they not wrapped him up, I'm assuming this is going to go in Oaks Christian's favor, being a personal
Referees
foul or
converge.
a face mask against Mater Dei. Yep, there you go. So
There it is.
you know, penalties have been the story of this first half for Oaks Christian, be it against them or for them, but it seems to keep them moving forward here, as now we have a first down, and that puts them just a few yards shy of the red zone, well deep into Mater Dei territory.
So it seems like the aggression of the Mater Dei defense is a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I think that the aggression's there, the excitement's there, just the control's not there yet.
First down and 10 from the 23, Roberg. And there they are again.
Oh, what a
with that
rollout.
swarming pass coverage.
Oh,
for
good
Roberg
stiff
with a
arm.
nice move
Good block
as
there.
he gets out of bounds at about the 17.
Little after-run activity there between Roberg and one of the defensive members of Mater Dei, but 2 or 3 great moves there. A good spin move to come out of the pocket. A great stiff arm just past the 20-yard line and puts him at on the 23. I don't think they've adjusted it yet, though, but within there you go, 13 yards in before a score, and this may be Mater Dei or Oaks Christian rather's
Roberg might
first offensive score.
be getting more familiar with how this rush is coming, as
Yeah,
he seems a little
yeah.
more comfortable running between
He's
the
definitely
tackles.
adjusting I think, better than the offensive line as a whole, because when that line still collapsed, he's able to see where he can go now. So his vision is improving as the game goes on.
They're at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. Roberg rolls out again to his right, this time throwing a lofty one.
Oh,
and
what
a
a catch!
great
Oh!
leaping catch in the end zone by his
what a
tight end,
catch.
number 85, James Hendricks.
What a catch.
And he really caught that ball out of the sky. Could have been anybody's, but he had the timing coming from his right to his left in the end zone.
You mentioned it, timing, and I think you give another piece of the credit there is that he's one of the taller guys on the offensive unit, James Hendricks is. So great reach, great jumping ability to go up there and grab that ball. It was a rebound. It was a loose ball. He grabbed it.
And Roberg showed a lot of trust as he just put that ball up there for Hendricks to go get. Through the uprights. Now we have a tie game, 13-13.
And I tell you what, this has improved dramatically from the first 2 minutes of the game when it was ruled by run by penalties and a quick kickoff return touchdown from Mater Dei. So a good possession there by Oaks, running a lot of time off the clock. Just over a minute left in this first period. Ran a lot of time off the clock there. They got a full touchdown with the field goal afterwards, be able to tie the game up. Great offensive stint there by Oaks Christian.
James Hendricks, of course, you see what they did there. Easily could be called Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, there you go.
I resisted an all along the watchtower call on the touchdown. But I just want to put that out there that I'm aware that would have been 2 on point.
I like Jimmy. I mean, it's your call. Again, I'm still getting over the fact of Mr. Williams for Mater Dei. What a great name. I mean, he's never going to be disrespected a day in his life. I mean, he's never.
It's true. I really like how the play calling of Oaks Christian, they've spaced out when they have gone to Hendricks in the passing game, not forcing the ball to him, even though it looks like a guy who seems to be able to get open when he wants to. And in the red zone, that just looks like something in practice that they know if they put it up in the end zone, he has the ability to go up and get it.
And here's the return man that scored last time, still on his feet for Mater Dei. Couple spin moves along the sideline, dancing with danger there, living on the edge.
Joanne Collins again.
They finally bring him down right at midfield. That's a pretty good return. Not a very good kick for Oaks, but a good 20-plus yard return for Mater Dei.
So Oaks Christian with touchdown passes from each of their quarterbacks. Connor Kershaw with that 82-yarder to Bryce Farrell. And then we saw their starter, Patrick Roberg, with the 13-yard strike to James Hendricks.
That took easily the whole length of the field at one point, starting a few times in their own end zone all the way down. So a good offensive play there again by Oaks Christian. See what Mater Dei does here to see if they can answer before the end of the first period.
Starting right inside the territory of Oaks Christian at the 49. We are about 30 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Oh, there's a stop. What a stop by the defense of Oaks Christian right there. Good way to pile it on. Great heads-up play. Helmet right underneath the chin. Stops him. 2 other guys come in and help him. Great stop there by Oaks. Very minimal gain. 1 yard on the gain. Only for Mater Dei.
I think they will let this one wind down.
Second and 9 from the 48.
Under 10 seconds to play as they do line up. The defense chance coming from the home crowd. They get one off right up the middle again. This time he gets loose up the middle.
Move.
Number 10, one man to beat.
Oh,
Bryce
what a
Farrell
tackle.
with the tackle
What a
in the
tackle.
open field down the 11-yard line. So Farrell, we saw him with the 2 big catches at wide receiver, this time setting a touchdown with the tackle.
Who is that? Number 10, the running back there that took
Number
that?
10. Moses Cepolona.
Cepolona. Little guy.
First time we've seen him tonight.
Great couple moves there in the offense to get through the line. Big hit by Oaks that stopped him. He spun off of it. And then, like you said, number 23 for Oaks, Bryce Farrell, showing good play on both sides of the ball.
So as advertised at the end of the first quarter, 13-13, there have been some points put up on this board.
And I think that's something that, like I said, the first 2 minutes of this game, very weary on how to see how this game would outcome. But you called it at the top of the show. I mean, so far we've got 13 to 13. No problem putting points on the board, be it for penalties or true offensive running.
But a lot of times that's how it happens, especially this early in the season. Teams not as familiar with what each other run. It's kind of a feeling out process. Last week we were at Simi Valley High. That game started with 7 straight punts.
Wow.
But actually became a game in the end that was scored in the high 20s. So we saw the touchdowns start to pile up as the teams got more familiar with each other, knowing what the others were running or whether it was a matter of fatigue. We saw the play calling and just the game itself start to open up more.
Well, you mentioned play calling and a great adjustment by Oaks to call that early timeout in their first possession, backs against the wall. Coach corrals his group and says, hey, take a breather, calm down. And you saw that big, long catch there from the substitute quarterback. And then, of course, Robert came back in and made this play.
Mater Dei at the 13, handoff.
Handoff to Chris Street.
Number 3, Chris Street, the ball carrier. They will operate under a shadow now as the sun's starting to go down here at Westlake Village, California.
Mater Dei still on that offensive possession right there. We're still able to create a big hole on the right side. But Oaks Christian, again, credit their coaching staff, making the adjustment, collapsing when the hole opens up, and stopping the run early.
So we'll see here if Mater Dei sticks with the run or if those runs set up a pass attempt, perhaps. 2nd down and 5 from the 8-yard line. White hands off right to his man, number 3, right up the gut for the touchdown. That's Chris Street for the 8-yard touchdown run.
And is that his 2nd touchdown this evening?
That's the first one for Street.
First one for Street. 2nd running touchdown, I think, for the team.
Correct. The other one was Jawan Collins.
There you go. So, again, Mater Dei's ability to bust open a big hole through their offensive line, and the inability, unfortunately, for Oaks Christian not to stop them soon enough.
Well, hold everything.
Do we have a penalty late here? I did not see a flag come in.
We got too excited there. It looks like they took the points off the board.
So now you're going back to us. That's a loss.
Now at the 15-yard line, 2nd and 11. Now it might be time to go to the passing game.
Which we have yet to see from Mater Dei really tonight.
Nathan White. They go right back to number 3, and he makes a move, breaks a tackle to the left side, to the pylon.
Dives in.
And just like that, Chris Street. So it doesn't matter which street he takes, right up the middle.
And we can keep the notes down. Exactly.
Side.
Yeah, what a.
He finds the end zone.
Unbelievable. That kid is so fast. Legs. The thing about these young running backs and these young athletes, especially in football, their legs never stop moving. They're always digging, always pushing. And that's one thing he did there is he did not stop, stiff arm, take the bump, was able to bust in and dive over the goal line, leaving the football in bounds and got the touchdown for Mater Dei.
The kicker Lopez on to try to make this a 2013 lead. And he does. So in this era of stat keeping and fantasy football, I'm sure Street is happy about that because he would have had an 8-yard touchdown run. The penalty, they go right back to it, and then he gets himself a 15-yard touchdown run.
Definitely padded the stats there, if you will, for his stat line. Erased the 8-yard run, put in a 15-yard run. So, you know, Mater Dei able to capitalize their early part in the second quarter, 20-13 now over Oaks Christian. We'll see how Oaks Christian answers here. They've been able to, every time Mater Dei scores, Oaks Christian's been able to answer. So we'll see if they can keep up that rhythm here and make it 3 for 3 on their offensive possessions with a touchdown or somehow get into the end zone.
There's that giant logo right above the end zone around the track, OC, which of course stands for Oaks Christian, but also formally known, formally known, as most people call Orange County, the OC.
The OC.
Mater Dei from OC. Perhaps they're tricking themselves into thinking they're at home.
The OC is in OC.
Santa Ana is in OC.
There you go.
So Bryce Farrell,
and this is
one of the
Dei's
kick returners. He's had 3 big plays tonight. See if he can get a hand on one here.
Kicking into the wind now.
If they kick it away from Farrell, might be a scouting report on him.
I don't think
as tripping over himself was number 3.
That's Ty Shamblin
Ty Shamlin takes the
for
kickoff.
Oaks, and he's coming up a little gingerly on the left leg. He had to run really far to come in and get that ball very high on that wind hang time. Ty had to come in, get it close to the sideline. I think he stutter stepped to try to keep from going out of bounds. Don't think he's injured, but he did come up gingerly, so we'll see what he does when he comes back into the game. He's going out now, but Oaks starts it on their own 17 again. Deep
And I
in
am
their own
seeing
zone.
number 7, Connor Kershaw, back in at quarterback, so they do switch quarterbacks again.
Yeah, this must be a strategic play here instead of like we thought earlier, where if Rober was a little sore or something. So
kind of a platoon situation. A low snap. Kershaw rolls out right away, getting away from a swarm of defenders trying and he threw kind of a
I don't
like
think
that would look like a bounce pass into the post in basketball.
Yeah, I think this is a good rotation just to get both these guys some PT, some playing time, get them some field experience. Both these quarterbacks definitely see a height difference between Robert and Shamblin. Is this Kershaw? Pardon me. Again, pocket collapse. So Kershaw's gonna have to round his troops up here, keep his offensive line holding him steady, see if he can get a pass or a run play here to start their first drive here in the second period.
Kershaw
good
has
protection.
A little bit of time, and he goes to Hendricks. Hendricks almost making another marvelous catch as he tried to come back across his body behind the defender and cup one with his right hand, but wasn't able to make that play.
Kershaw had the time the first half of before the pocket collapsed. When he started coming forward into traffic is when you saw him disappear in the tree of defensive line down there. The last second he saw his receiver at the last second. Unfortunately, just wasn't able to nab it, bring it in.
3rd and 10. Yes, I see Robert on the sideline. He looks healthy, so I believe it's just a rotation.
3rd and 10 from the 17.
Kershaw takes about a 7-step drop. More defenders, and this time an interception. Number 23 by Mater Dei. He's got a chance to take that into the end zone as he
and there's no one there to him.
All the offensive turn defensive players for Oaks Christian, and that's a pick 6.
And that's Joseph Nelson for Mater Dei, and
hold everything. Another
penalty coming back, maybe. So again, the penalties hurt Oaks starting the game. The last 3 or 4 penalties have definitely helped them on their last offensive trip and this defensive trip. So we'll see what happens here, or this offensive trip, excuse me. It's a quick reset here where the officials
10-14 to go in the second quarter, 20-13, Mater Dei.
And Oaks is 3rd and 10. This offensive trip, this offense is not looking the best as it has been. So again, obviously a rotation factor to get both these quarterbacks playing time. You can see the difference in management and team execution with who's under center. Interesting to see what the refs call here. I didn't see anything that led to maybe an Oaks player, once the turnover happened, an Oaks player committed a foul on a Mater Dei player. I didn't see anything
than usual.
Yeah, from the time that the interception happened to him scoring, nothing really stood out to me. Here's the call.
And the call.
So offsetting penalties. And the touchdown stands. So
Touchdown is good.
Joseph Nelson from Mater Dei, pick 6, high steps it in to the end zone.
So the Monarchs doubling up the home team, the Lions, 26-13. They'll try to tack on one more with the extra point.
Just an unfortunate offensive trip there for Oaks. Again, the young quarterback stepped into the pocket. It collapsed. He forced a pass, and it was only to a white jersey instead of a dark jersey. Mater Dei set to kick for their extra point. Snap is good. No, it's not. It's fumbled. He picks it up, runs, and Oaks Christian able to capitalize on it. Stop. Well, hasn't yet. So a misplay there by Mater Dei.
Seen a couple of flubbed extra point opportunities already.
Good recognition there by Oaks to stop that from being much worse than it could have been.
Seeing plays misplayed like that at the high school level gives you an appreciation of those particular skills that you see in
Yes.
an NFL game, from the long snapper to the holder to the kicker, and how that has to be executed near perfectly every time a team scores if you want to get those extra points on the board.
You can definitely, of course, see the difference in experience when you look at collegiate and pro players versus young, entry level, if you will, athletic teams like we have in front of us here tonight. It just makes you. You're right. It makes you have a whole different appreciation for and understand how good you really have to be to get to that level. I mean, the years and the sacrifices that these people make, the Drew Breeses, that those people that still had struggles coming up, but a little bit of fate, a little bit of hard work, and they got them where they are. But nothing to take away from these freshman guys, that they're just as good as they can be at this level. But yeah, it definitely makes you have a different appreciation for higher level athletics.
As Lopez on to kick again.
High hanging or kick again.
High kick, short, as
just out of the
misplayed
reach
by Oaks and wrangled down at about the.
I think the ball came. Did the ball come out there at the last second? No. No, we kept the hold of it.
Onto it. Ty Shamblin, short return. Haven't checked to see if there's any relation between Connor Kershaw and Clayton Kershaw, the pitcher for the LA Dodgers.
I thought about that when you first mentioned his name earlier in the broadcast, and it's a name you don't hear very often. So you would think there may be some sort of bloodline there, but you know, the thing about the Dodgers Kershaw is,
as they start at the 21-yard line, 1st and 10. It's Roberg back in a quarterback, however.
I think he has a little bit better throwing arm than this Kershaw.
Roberg, number 74, Salazar again.
My goodness.
With his teammate number 70, bringing Roberg down.
Just suffocating defense again by Modern Day, and I mean, they're definitely showing the reason
Cole
why they are
Flynn.
A storied program in Southern California. With defense like this, they install it at the young level, and they've brought it into their freshman team, and they're definitely showing it off tonight.
That's actually 74, Miles Moreau in there with his teammate.
Oaks Christian tries again. 2nd down, 22 to go. Ball on the 9-yard line. Here's the snap play, pass play, good cut up the middle. Oh, I didn't see him.
That got away.
I didn't see him. I think it hit him in the back of the helmet, but that defensive guy was playing zone, coming up to get a hold of number 85 there for Oaks, Hendricks, Jimmy, your man. He was there, just the ball didn't get to him.
Speaking of baseball news, we covered a lot of the Oaks Christian games during the last baseball season. Just recently announced, former Major League shortstop Royce Clayton, new baseball coach at Oaks Christian.
Really?
Yeah.
Very good. That's anytime you have a tenured, experienced player like that, be it in the pros, who's a name, or someone who goes on and creates a successful future for themselves to come back and coach at this level to start these young men and athletes in the right path, is a win for that school, wherever it may be. So great catch there by Oaks to get him in here.
I mean, Oaks over the years, Trevor Gretzky, former baseball all-star here.
Now his last name sounds familiar.
Son of Wayne Gretzky.
That's why.
Joe Montana's sons, I believe, both played quarterback. At least one of them here.
3rd and 22 from the 9.
Oaks will try it again here. Ball on the 9, 3rd and 22.
That's Roberg still in there as he gets away this time, but they just keep coming for Modern Day.
That's gonna be
and they may get the safety here. We'll see what the referees
call him down
call.
on the 1 or the 2. Yeah, ball on the 2.
They call him down.
Roberg is tackled by number 35, Garrett Riley.
Something to watch for Roberg here is his ability to scramble is going to pay him dividends in the future. He really, I know it's hard to see it now, but I can't imagine many other freshman teams having just a swarming defense like Monterey Day has. But he's close to getting escape out of the pocket every play when he gets rushed.
So Mater Dei
Patrick Grover in front formation.
bring the rush on the punt, and that is a short kick.
Oh,
but they
it took
get
a friendly bounce.
Friendly roll, almost all the way past the 40 to the 42 and a half, marked down by Oaks Christian.
And you see the frustration there by number 5, Donovan Davis of Oaks. And it was a pretty cramped space. It's hard to get away a good, clean punt like that with that much space. Not that much space in the end zone, but took a very favorable bounce for Oaks, putting Mater Dei just about 7 yards into Oaks Christian territory to start their second offensive possession in this second period.
Oaks defense huddling with their coaches. They've got the dry erase boards out. I'm sure the plan is to try to think of a way to stop this prolific running attack of Mater Dei.
Containment, I think, would be the word to use here for them, is to try to find a way just to contain this just onslaught that Mater Dei is bringing off both defensively and offensively. I mean, with Juwan Collins for Mater Dei just running anywhere he wants, really, at free will on the defense.
Chris Street
and Chris Street as well.
Run.
Yeah, so you've got two very effective running backs. And has Mater Dei attempted a pass play the whole evening yet? I don't think they have. They've kept it on the ground the whole time. Maybe they've attempted a couple, but all of their offensive scoring has happened on the ground. So when you got two efficient running backs like Mater Dei has, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
Yeah, we forgot to mention as well, we've only seen him a couple times, but a lot of the time, at any level, you can set up your running backs just by having different types of running backs. Street and Juwan Collins with the touchdown runs. We also saw the change of pace guy, the shifty Moses Sepulona, a couple times as well.
First and 10 from the 43.
So here we go. See
They've got Juwan Collins deep in the backfield.
Can step up here.
Nathan White, their quarterback. This time he
Quick
goes
handoff.
to the
that's
up back number 10.
Number 10, that's Moses Sepulona.
There he is.
Patrick Grover on the tackle.
So the three names we're hearing, Sepulona, Street, and Collins,
keeps each running back fresh as well.
Keeps them fresh, good rotation, and they're definitely proving their worth here in their running game. Good stop there by Oaks, though. Only gave them a couple yards gain, 2-yard gain on that play. So good job for Oaks. Their defensive timeout they just took, corralled their troops, and was able to get a good stop right there.
And we mentioned these backs, but the offensive line, of course, setting that up for Mater Dei. And they go to the passing game there.
An angle pass.
High pass, but caught. Nice grab by number 2.
Passes complete to Darian.
That may not be their first pass, but that's number 2, Darren Green, for Mater Dei. And that may not be their first pass, but the first one of that I definitely recall. Great slant there, just a simple post pattern into the middle of the secondary. A little high on the pass. Good jump catch, though. Brought him down by Oaks, got him down. But a first down for Mater Dei as we cross the 7 minutes left mark here in the second period.
Keeping that conservative approach, however, because as long as that pass is executed correctly, the slant right away out of the snap, it's one of the balls least likely to be intercepted.
Correct, yeah. Defense is always behind you on that play, for sure.
Nathan White pitching it
And
to Juwan Collins.
Juwan, yeah, again.
Handoff goes to Juwan Collins. Ty Ely on the tackle.
They look like they're taking their time a little more, just getting back to the huddle. They've got this 13-point lead.
They have, yeah. No real rush here for Mater Dei. They've put their big points on the board here in this first half. Definitely some clock management. You see they're taking more time now to get players in exchange. The first part of this, in the first period, it was very quick. So taking longer to call signals here. I think you're going to see a timeout. Yeah, timeout by Mater Dei. So a very efficient offense from Mater Dei. Unfortunately, some inefficient defense by Oaks has given a big lead to Mater Dei. How do you see, in your terms, adjustments that obviously defensive adjustments, but what do you think Oaks needs to do to come out strong the second half?
Well, I think they need to limit their mistakes, as we've seen penalties hurt them as well. And I don't know, if you think about their quarterback shifting, I wonder if consistency has something to do with that, that maybe they should stick with one of these signal callers to give the team some more continuity.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on that one, and I think there's been more offensive consistency with Roberg starting off in this first part of this game.
Even though we had the 82-yard touchdown by Kershaw, was more of a broken play.
You did, and you know, you see that 82-yard play was a big play from, you know, the quarterback Kershaw to your man Jimmy. I just think, you know, if you make an adjustment the second half on the offensive side, I just think you know you got to stick with Roberg. I think, you know, he's taller, he's more nimble in the pocket, and with this offensive line, I mean, it'll keep him pocket protected. He's going to be able to scramble for you.
And part of that, as well as keeping the modern-day offense off the field.
Here's
As White goes to the air
play.
again, this time he's
wow.
got his man wide open for an easy touchdown. Number 4,
Cody Epps, he goes all the way for a Monarch touchdown.
Cody Epps from Nathan White, extending their lead, the visitors from Mater Dei.
And again, I think to wash away everything we just talked about offensive adjustments, folks, you got to make these defense adjustments first. And right now, Mater Dei is just picking them apart. See if they can keep the snap here in control. And it's good. So
33 to 13 for the visitors. And what we saw there, we are now 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. But basically, for the first quarter and a half, we saw the Mater Dei offense with their running game set up these pass plays. As we saw Oaks Christian huddle up right before that drive. And I'm sure their defensive strategy was geared toward stopping the running game, maybe even on the other side of the field as they were holding up those dry erase boards. The Mater Dei coaches saw, well, they are really thinking about how to stop our run. So let's go ahead and pull out the passing game.
And
you saw that post pattern just wide open.
Yep, and you know, I think football 101, they tell you start with running, which opens to passing. You know, if you're able to establish a running game, you pretty much do anything. So now they've established a running game. Oaks had to make the adjustment. They did stop the running game, but now they're picking them apart over the top of over the middle. So now you're going to have to worry about the secondary adjustments in the backfield to stop with the pass play.
Lopez on again, getting a workout with that right leg.
Big strides to that kick. High kick again, end over end. Good catch there by Oaks. Good return coming up.
Ty Shamblin on the return. First day of September, entering Labor Day weekend. Like we said, second game of the year for each of these teams. .35-yard line, starting as they go back to Kershaw at quarterback. Maybe looking for the big play.
Got to get the offensive line here to hold off these defenders.
Keep it on the ground. Nothing there as that defensive line, a very stout defensive line of Mater Dei, has had few breakdowns this afternoon.
Just swarming, I mean, engulfing. I mean, any word you want to use to describe this in terms of just an annihilating steel wall is exactly what it is. And
we need a nickname for that defensive line, Mater Dei. I don't think steel wall will work.
What's their
steel curtain?
What's their
Monarchs?
mascot?
Maybe it's Kershaw, low snap, rifles it.
Oh,
Hendricks almost makes another great catch, giving up his body as he left his chest wide open.
He's a little
shaken up.
I think he got the wind taken out of him on that one, and he's up slow rising, but he's standing up a little bit here. And again, even when you have just a foot of space, how quickly they are able to swarm on that opportunity that Mater Dei has. So, swarming defense by Monarchs.
There it is.
Connor Kershaw is the quarterback for Oaks Christian. 3rd and 10 from the 35.
So Hendricks takes a break.
3rd down and 10.
He's over here getting looked at. They've got some trainers by him.
5:09 to go in the second quarter.
Let's see what Kershaw can do here. Need a big play.
Back to the running game. And the Monarchs, once again, Johnny on the spot.
Handoff
Nothing going for Mr. Williams on that carry. Fourth down. Sets up the punting unit for the home team as the whole field now pretty much covered in shadow as the sun
Long
descending
shadows.
in Westlake Village.
Patrick Roberg in confirmation.
They'd like to get the ball back, but as almost getting a hand on it, it's the modern day.
Another bounce in favor of Oaks Christian. So Modern Day will start midway in their own territory, the 30-yard line. That's not seemed to be a problem so far for Modern Day. Anywhere where they're starting at, they seem to find a way to get to the goal.
Yeah, I was saying that Oaks Christian, of course, would like to get the ball back, but I think more importantly here is keeping points off the board from Modern Day going into halftime.
Again, I think I think they're more worried about containment than anything, and trying to keep this from really getting out of hand. You know, a 20-point lead 4 minutes before the end of the first half is about as out of control, I think, as those Christian coaches would like to see it get.
Looks like Chris Street is the halfback of choice to start this possession.
Jimmy got looked at. Hendricks is back in on the right side defensive tackle, so he's after his shakeup on the offensive end. He's back to play defense. And false start, Modern Day.
Illegal procedure is called against Modern Day.
So see, Jimmy's presence is already affected. He comes in.
I want to respect the young man.
Exactly.
Let's call him James.
There you go.
It is James on the roster.
Sure.
First down and 15. Looks like a dangerous, potentially, patch of field there that's been refurbished.
I think those used to be the names of the logos on the field, and here's a pass play from Modern Day. Good stop.
No room to operate over there.
Stop.
Pass is complete to Cody Epps.
Cody Epps with his second catch of the evening.
Was Nathan White trying to sling that out there to the left side of the field. Good pass, lateral almost, very minimal gain. Down to 2nd and 17 now to go for Modern Day.
Loss of 2 on the play, actually,
as they look for a first down here. But I believe that those patches, I think, were like they had names of the sponsors on the field, and I guess they removed those, but still potentially dangerous. You're right.
Nathan White. And he gets rid of it. And Chris Street, if he caught that, he had a head of steam going.
If that pass was a little more level and Street got a hand on it and stride, there was nobody. There was nobody there. So Street was able to throw it right through the defense, and fortunate that it wasn't a big gain. Or Street would have been the receiver, sorry. Nathan White was throwing the ball to him last time. Here they are again, though.
3rd and 17. Shotgun formation, 3 wideouts on his right, 1 on his left.
Deep.
White fires one to number 2. He catches it, and this time he gets loose. He gets it back. He turns the corner.
That's a flag, yep, right there, number 10.
Still on his feet, flag on the field.
Yeah, Moses.
Darian Green.
Cepolona
with the ball.
Midway through that play where the flags are, you see, he had a big block in the back against an Oaks Christian defender, and the ref was right in front of him, right on top of it, and that's going to come back, I believe. And, yeah, Modern Day's already walking back. Yeah, exactly.
So, sigh of relief for Oaks Christian, as that would have been a big gain.
Wasn't that a heck of a pass, though, by White? I mean, man, he slung that ball right into the middle. The post pattern that receiver ran was right on point. Jumped over, caught it, made a couple moves, but unfortunately, Cepolona a little carried away on the blocking, and he's the victim of the foul, and he erases the big gain and back to where they started.
Referees getting a workout as they walk the ball all the way back down to the 32-yard line. Clock winding down, 2:40 to go in the second quarter. 3rd down and 8. White checking his wrist for the play call, also consulting with the sideline. as he sets up his receivers how he likes them.
And that Cepolona
Goes in set.
First receiver slot there on the left side of the field. Blitz may be coming from Oaks. Here it comes. They can't
White.
get in there. Oh, gets to him. No.
Gets off.
Get the tip.
Tip ball.
Yes,
Interception.
there you go.
Made by number 11 for Oaks Christian at the 36-yard line. A ray of hope for the Lions with 2:11 to go in the first half.
And that's the first time I can remember that Oaks Christian's defense have put major pressure on Nathan White. They sent a full-on blitz. Oaks Christian defender comes around the left side of the line.
Number 11, Gabe Burgos with the interception.
Nathan White turns to make his pass, sees Oaks Christian defender, aired pass tip, Oaks gets the ball. Great defensive stand right there by Oaks Christian. Exactly what they needed.
It's Roberg back at quarterback.
And that ball fell, no?
For Oaks. They go to the running game.
And off with Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams met by the white jerseys.
I think you called it, but Roberg's back in, so we'll see if the
loss of 1 on the play.
Offense can
Down at the 37, second and 11.
Move forward here.
Looks like Hendricks is back in after being shaken up.
2 wideouts, top of the screen, low snap.
Roberg looking for his man Hendricks.
And
there you go, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, that's where Modern Day is coming in. Again, I think their defensive aggressiveness is fine.
He saw,
but
the
he's not
ball
able,
was not a well-thrown
stop.
ball.
Yeah.
The defensive back saw a chance to pluck it out of the air, and he had nothing but daylight, but he couldn't get around the big body of Hendricks.
Yeah. And that's where, Hendricks is a big guy. He's one of the taller, bigger guys out here on the offensive side of the ball for Oaks. And the shorter defender had to jump, but good for Oaks Christian. It was a great play for Oaks to get Hendricks on the smaller defender, and it worked in their favor, and they're moving forward.
That's the equivalent of when you see an over-the-back call in basketball.
Exactly.
The rebounder in the post, and the opposing team seeing a chance to get the ball, but contact is a penalty. Low snap. Roberg firing right away.
That looks good.
And that one is intercepted at the 2-yard line by Mater Dei by their quarterback, number 7, Nathan White. So trying for the quick strike to close the scoring gap here results in another turnover for the home team.
And it looked like their number coming and run towards us, 23, Bryce Farrell was the intended receiver. He was in the back of 2 defenders. The ball from our angle looked like it was thrown great. Tight spiral, one of the tightest throws that he's thrown tonight, Roberg has. Just not enough oomph on the bottom end of it, and leads to a turnover, and here we are again, Mater Dei, deep in Oaks territory, their own territory, excuse me.
With only 15. A minute 5 to go, I do understand the strategy.
Sure.
Because they're down 20. Why not go for the quick strike, leaving little time left for Mater Dei to operate?
They may just let this. No, they might get a playoff here. I don't think they'd let it set for the full minute. Yeah, they're going to take a knee here. Play it safe. You got a 20-point lead going into halftime. Nothing really to risk here. No reason to gamble or anything like that. Electric first half. The points have definitely ran up early, and then of course Mater Dei ran out the door with it here the last half of the second period with defensive touchdowns, offensive touchdowns, running on all cylinders really. So that's it. It looks like we'll let the last 12 seconds run off. Both teams go to their respective locker rooms, talk about what's coming up in the second half. 33-13, Mater Dei,
the visiting team,
over
Santa Ana.
Oaks. And you got to think too here that Oaks has got to find a way to get some momentum back. They had a big win last week. They want to come out here and defend home field, but they got some work to do here coming in the second half.
Absolutely. So that'll be it for the first half, folks, from Westlake Village at Oaks Christian School. You're listening and watching liveplaysports.tv. And we will be back shortly for our coverage of the second half of this freshman prep football matchup from Southern California.
Push to mute. Okay,
So I was like,
gotcha.
hey, we're gonna hear like 6 minutes. Let me just do that. When you put on switch, the switches on to it. That means it's got like on top.
So is it? It's on now.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you turn yours off for this halftime, or just leave it on? Okay. But if I want to just not, if I want to mute myself, just push it. Gotcha. Perfect.
But you, I mean,
We're not gonna call this.
I don't, of course, we're calling you still, but you don't.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. This is push to mute. So.
But if you ever wanted that, you could.
But leave it like here. It leaves it talk all the time.
Yeah. So go.
So now it's on push to mute. Oh, okay. Gotcha. The notches. Yeah. Smooth.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fun. I like it. I'm gonna find a bathroom. What do we have? 15 minutes? 10 minutes?
Probably 15
I'm gonna find a rest. Do you know where a restroom is? Is it down there by the concessions?
I think it's looks like there's that wall, no?
Okay.
Those here for
I'll
your
be right
Oaks
back.
Christian cheer team.
video is. It's still, yeah. It's like they could hear that, yeah. Want some stills? Recap or whatever. We're gonna run through it for the second half. You should have heard these. That's funny. Huh? With the broadcast stuff. So instead of saying, that's where names of the field sponsors used to be, this is an opportunity for you to sponsor the field. This is where your name would be. Yeah. They did, down 20. They ran through the field. That was a thing.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to LivePlaySports.tv's coverage of this freshman prep football matchup coming to you from Oaks Christian School in Westlake Village, California. Our halftime score, the visitors from Mater Dei with a 33-13 lead over the home team, the Oaks Christian Lions. Mater Dei has scored 3 different ways, 4 different touchdowns today. We've seen them the pick six, an interception return for a touchdown, and we've seen 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 passing touchdown. On the other side, a couple of big passing plays by Oaks Christian gave them their 13 points. What we're going to look for in the second half, though, I think, with Oaks Christian, is they're going to have to contain and get into the backfield quicker into the Mater Dei offense, whether it's getting pressure on the quarterback or stopping those runners from getting room on the outside. And then on offense, we saw them go for the quick strike at the end of the first half. However, they do have some time here in the second half, enough time to chip away as long as the defense holds up their end of the bargain. And I'm Patrick O'Sullivan here, joined by Dustin Sisney.
That's me.
Dustin, that's about what we're looking at right now in this scenario, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're looking at a 20-point deficit or a 20-point lead, whichever one you're looking at for here. I think in terms of Oaks, you made some very valid points. You're going to have to get through the line quicker. On the offensive side, the defensive side, you're going to have to collapse quicker on the defense to stop that run game. You know, we talked about it in the first half. Mater Dei's run game set the precedent, and then they went to the air the last 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, Oaks brings their defense up to stop the running game. They pick apart the secondary. If they leave their front line open to play in the secondary, then they leave the running game open. So,
this is just the freshman level, but fundamentally speaking, they're going to have to make better tackles.
And those are all fundamental things that should be easily handed. A quick
line
catch
drive.
there, line drive
Kickoff
by the big fella here for Mater Dei.
He pushes it forward, pushes that pile almost to midfield.
That was, I think, clearly not diagrammed, drawn up by Oaks to start the first kickoff of the second half. Being that low and fast, trying to find it was number 85, I think, wasn't it?
No, I believe it was 55, yeah.
55 for Mater Dei that brought that in. That's
I have it as Radley Proto. Oh, that's
Sounds
Mater
good
Dei.
to me.
That's Mater Dei.
Yeah, for
Sorry.
Oaks, or for Mater Dei, who
that's Tantai Marks.
Tai sounds good. I like that. I'll just call him Mr. Marks. Good hands
so
there.
They'll start at the 49-yard line. Nathan White been very composed this game. Of course, the running game setting his mind at ease. And this time, Chris Street moves the ball
Chris Street, the ball
inside
carrier.
the 45-yard line of Oaks Christian.
Again, just so quick off the line. You talk what you just talked about. If Oaks could do that to their own offensive side, what Modern Day just did, just explosion off the line after the handoff. So Street again, paving his way, no pun intended to the last name, continuing his just great running demonstration this evening for Modern Day early in this third period.
Street had a 15-yard touchdown run in the first half that we saw him take. Well, the first time it was an 8-yard touchdown run.
Then they
Penalty was called. Next play, Street.
ran it right back in again. See how Oaks defense is up now to stop this running game.
Safety playing center field. And up the middle, number 10, Moses Cepolona.
Handoff with the
Moses was the unfortunate recipient of a block in the back that he did to Oaks on a pass play last half. But his offensive side has definitely been strong in the running game as well. Cepolona, Street, and
Jawan Collins.
there you go, Mr. Collins, the three main rotational running backs that Modern Day has gone through here in this football game so far.
And these are schools that do pattern a lot of their games and their game plans off NFL-style offenses. And we've seen that in the NFL as well. Teams going to a more running back by committee the last few years as their Street, and he's got some room, and he's got the moves, and he's still on his feet. He cuts inside the 20, the 10, down to the 8, and really showcasing what he can do on that carry was Chris Street.
Just so quick, nimble, agile, all the qualities you look for. These are freshmen. I mean, this kid, can you imagine who's going to be in the next 2 or 3 years as an upperclassman? I mean, this is a guy you're going to have to keep an eye out for
That's
here
what's
in Southern
tough
California football.
About tackling a guy like Street. The shoulders go one way, the hips go the other way, and you, as a defender, already on your heels trying to keep up with that, trying to guess where he's going.
And he's got the low center of gravity. He's a shorter running back, very nimble, very agile, all the qualities you look for in a future star running back.
We'll see if they go right back to Street from the 8.
They
They
sure
do. Street right in the end zone, basically walks in.
Untouched almost. And that's a 4 or 5 play offensive run there for Modern Day. Takes minimal time off the clock. Oaks here now really with their backs up against the wall. 39-13.
More than anything, what I'm seeing from Modern Day is just a growing confidence in this game that they can have their way with the defensive Oaks Christian.
You're exactly right. And you compare that last run, this first play of the second half here, as Modern Day gets ready to set kick for their extra point. Snaps down, kick is up, and it's right down the middle for the extra point. 40-13 now, Modern Day over Oaks Christian. But to continue with the comparison you said, this last play, first play of the second half, definitely much more confidence and control compared to the first play in the first half.
That's it. Second week in a row that this Modern Day offense or team puts 40 or more points on the board. I mentioned the team because they did have the interception return for a touchdown as well. They won last week 41-14 and now holding a 40-13 lead here in the third quarter with just under 9 minutes to go.
Do you start at this point if you're Oaks? Is it the coaches starting to talk about not throwing in the towel? That's not what I'm saying, but more experience than climbing this deficit. You of course want to put in an effort to climb the deficit, but
I think it's a matter of how do you feel about the morale of your team. Do you want to risk a score getting so out of hand that you look at the scoreboard at the end of the game and say, how do we carry that in next week?
Yeah. Modern Day set to
But
kick
still
here.
plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Plenty of football left to be played. Oaks Christian ready to receive.
Lopez.
Again, a
Short
high kick.
Bounces at the 26.
Breaks a couple tackles, spinned and brought down.
That's Bryce Farrell. He's been all over the place tonight.
First and 10 for Oaks on their 30.
Patrick Roberg in a quarterback for Oaks Christian. He started the game, but we have seen from drive to drive
Consistent
then shift
rotation.
to Connor Kershaw.
Consistent rotation there.
Back
at the
and forth.
quarterback. Let's see if Patrick can get him going here start of the second half.
Ty Shamblin in the backfield with Roberg. Low snap again. He throws
Oh,
one.
what a pass.
Nice pass to Bryce Farrell as he makes the catch, cuts inside, and falls at about the 47-yard line.
It looks like there early on, Oaks took your notes to start the second half. Quick offensive movement there. Quick snap, 2-3 step drop, right up the sideline. Perfect pass right between the defenders and a first down on their first play.
First and 10 Lions from the 47.
Bryce Farrell again lined up here closest to us.
So we'll see if Robert can get in a rhythm as he had a nice timing pass on that play. Another low snap. Robert this time trying to avoid the pass rush. Mater Dei 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
and the ball's
defenders
loose.
as the ball is loose.
Looks like that's number 73,
77.
Lamar Ludy.
That's the second time tonight he's recovered.
He's recovered a fumble.
fumble.
And I think both times have been with Kershaw at the quarterback.
So just like that, Oaks Christian pushed all the way back. And that pass play
quickly erased.
Second and 29 from the 34.
They're going to need to get into a rhythm or
Yeah.
just a flurry of big plays if they want to get back in this ball game. And penalties and fumbles are not going to help that.
No.
Boberg, Shamblin in the backfield again. 3 wide receivers on his
Look
left.
for Hendricks.
Fires right away. He gets
Screen.
Farrell. So trying to use Farrell's shiftiness to get
Use
inside
Farrell's
there and
shiftiness.
hopefully break something down the middle, but he couldn't find room with that Mater Dei defense.
You're exactly right, and it looked like a little bit of a screen pass because you saw Hendricks come up and basically set what would be a basketball pick in basketball. Farrell came around, caught the pass, went around the corner, just not enough for a gain. 3rd and 26 now for Oaks.
Roberg. Another
Bryce
timing
again.
play to Farrell, but
And
this
that
time
time it
picked
didn't.
off. Mater Dei was on top of it there. They saw that that was basically the same play as Darian Green with the INT for the Monarchs. And just like that, another drive thwarted by this Mater Dei defense.
Just a little too much air underneath that pass from Kershaw. Same play like you said. And Robert, sorry. Same pass play as they ran earlier for Bryce. They got on that first down. Just a little too much air underneath it. Not quite the distance. And Mater Dei able to pick it up, pick it out of the air for an interception.
3rd interception of the night thrown by Oaks Christian.
So you saw some hope, but you saw some good potential there from Oaks. First offensive setting in the second half. Couple good plays. Tried to find a rhythm, couldn't do it. Mater Dei's defense comes out on top again.
Nathan White to Juwan Collins. Collins up the middle of the field.
Oh, what a
big
arm.
stiff arm as he turns the corner.
And he's got the jets on. There's a
hits the end zone, but a flag is down.
flag late. You would maybe think some holding on Mater Dei, but it doesn't look like anything's. Well, the offense hasn't gone off the field yet, so.
The body language looks like this one will come back.
Yeah. Yep, and it does against Mater Dei. You know, you get into a situation like that where you're putting the gas pedal down. You have a good running play or a good running play right there, and Oaks is back on their heels the whole time. So not really a chance for them to make a penalty unless they maybe to get a face mask. But there was no one around him, so obviously a block in the back or something that Mater Dei did to erase that big play, and now we do it again.
So Mater Dei keeping it conservative on the ground, but these runners are so powerful and quick that it almost, the results don't seem to be conservative. They just seem to be breaking big runs. So
they've got a great offensive line, big young men on the front of that offensive line there, creating big holes for their running game.
Now at the 48 of Oaks Christian.
Let's see if 25
White.
Dean Neely here gets a quick handoff from Mater Dei. No,
Keeps
sneaks
it
it. Quarterback
himself.
keeps it.
Plows forward as the pack is stopped by the referee's whistle.
So did they mark that back off the yardage of the play? Is why it was only 1st and 5, I guess.
I believe so.
Or 3rd and 4th. Yeah, because now it's just back down to 1st down. So Monterey executes. Nathan White doing a great job leading the cause here.
5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
It's a beautiful setting here and nestled in the hills here of Westlake Village. Sun is now set. It's in the 70s. Beautiful night for football here.
Stadium lights are on.
Southern California. Nathan White, pitch.
Jawan Collins.
Full head of steam.
Once again,
full head of
and
steam.
he's going to sprint to the end zone. Another
flag comes in, untouched.
So, Jawan Collins getting his wind sprints in.
Yeah, they call the touchdown, but I think that the white cap official does not see there's a flag. So they might be bringing.
I think we have another hold.
Another hold against Monterey. So they're hurting them. They're proving their dominance here on the running game, but then they're hurting themselves with their penalties as they run so much further ahead of the competition with these blocks in the back or pushes. They're bringing the plays right back to them.
Well, they say the man who popularized this in practice during his career, Jerry Rice, every ball he caught in practice, he would run to the end zone just so he could get used to mentally putting in his mind that every play should be a touchdown. Jawan Collins getting his reps going to the end zone on every handoff on this drive, but the penalty's bringing it back. So we'll see if this visualization will help Collins here.
Not a good bad practice habit to get into either. Anytime you get the ball to just run to the end zone and thinking everything's going to be a touchdown. So see what Monterey does here. 1st and 5 after the penalty and the erase of the second touchdown erase this play.
And there's Collins again.
Little slip.
And this time,
there we go.
Oaks Christian comes up with a stop.
And again, we've only seen Nathan White 5 pass plays tops all night.
But he's made them count.
But the two that I distinctly remember from the first half, I think one or both of them were touchdown passes. So when he does pass, it's efficient. But as you can see here with this running game, I mean, why pass? I mean, when you don't even need to, when you've got such a strong running game that Monterey has.
Number 4, Cody Epps, split wide to the right. He had the touchdown catch in the first half.
Oaks is jamming their defense on the line here. See what they do if they bring anybody in for a blitz.
Fake to Collins. White
that way.
Will air it out to Cody Epps once again, but he overthrows his man. So going for the jugular with his 40-13 lead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just say Ty. She heard the announcer call Ty's name out. He's been on good defensive stint that time. First half, he got a little cooked on that defensive play. That
I think a new runner coming in, or a new receiver for Monterey, number 34.
And that is
to the left.
Sean Turk.
I think it's the first time we've seen him tonight.
You might start seeing some rotation of players here with the score
Third
being
down
so
and
big.
2.
The quarterback's going to keep this one.
Keeps it, and using that height to kind of propel himself enough for the first down.
And that's it from Mr. Turk. He came in to give someone a breather, apparently, or to play games to the defense. Either way, Monterey was able to, quarterback able to keep it for the first down. 1st and 10 inside Oaks Christian's territory on the 33-yard line. 40
Chris
to 13.
Street now deep in the backfield, replacing Jawan Collins. Fake to Street. A lot of pressure by Oaks. But Darian Green comes up with a nice catch, and the defenders cannot make the tackle. Darian Green into the end zone for the touchdown.
And, you know, you saw the 2 Oaks defenders right there. One had him around the bottom of Darian Green, and then you had a second Oaks defender come up and just bump him in the chest, trying to knock him over. Got to wrap him up. You can't just play touch. You got to wrap him up. I think as soon as the defender saw that he had done that, he knew that he just pushed him towards the end zone.
One of the things we talked about coming out of the break, just that simple fundamental of tackling low, not completing the tackle on that play. Green did make a nice play on the ball, coming back to it, and the catch as the extra point is good. But we see at this freshman level, still a lot of the polishing of fundamentals need to be done.
47 to 13, Monterey's big lead over Oaks Christian, and you mentioned it correctly. you can never forget the fundamentals, and I think at this point now, Oaks is needing to go back to that a little bit. I think this stint here, yeah, you've got number 12 checking in. Is that Roberg?
They'll stick
in?
with Roberg.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Roberg starts the game. It looks like Kershaw.
We haven't seen Kershaw yet, have we? The second half.
It looks like Roberg is 1 and Kershaw is 1A. We'll see if they try to get Kershaw more reps as the game goes on.
But this is something like we said about fundamentals, that these young men are going to look back and
well,
even
it's a kicking unit. We don't know who's out there yet.
Exactly. Well, true.
Roberg
is
on the
I
hands
know Roberg's
team.
on the hands. Yeah. So there you go. So I just assumed they were already kicked apparently, but. Back to the conversation of fundamentals, I mean, these young men are going to be able to look back and you learn from experiences like this. I mean, anytime even just because you don't get a W doesn't mean you don't learn. So, and that's what trumps everything is experience. So they're learning a lot tonight.
Richard Lopez with the kick. This one will land in the hands of Bryce Farrell at about the 7-yard line. He's got some nifty moves. He cuts
breaks
up the middle.
Through.
He finds a crease. He goes back
still
inside.
Going. Oh, barely.
Nice leg tackle made by his counterpart, number 23 on Mater Day. Perhaps saving a touchdown or at least a longer return.
And he did. He displayed
Joseph Nelson.
Great juke moves there. He's a little frustrated. He thought he could break through. He had one more guy to beat. The last second, Mater Day grabs him by the heels and brings him down. But what a good return there.
And it will be Connor Kershaw in a quarterback now.
So we'll see if Kershaw can get something going here on the offense. Mater Day's defense is in a standard defense. This guy sneaking up for a blitz, comes inside.
They go to the ground.
Gained a couple yards on that play.
Handoff goes to Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams, one of the crowd members here shouting, "All right, mister."
That's 21, Joey.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 from the 35.
I think he's getting his first.
Joey
Corderaro, I believe.
I like that.
His brother plays on the baseball team, if I recall.
I'm going to call him Mr. Q.
I believe his brother is a big slugger. Phil Corderaro covered their baseball team last season. Really fine player.
We'll see if Joey can contribute to some slugging here on the football field. Looks like more than likely a running play here that Kershaw is orchestrating.
And they go right to him.
If he gained any, it was one, if that.
Handoff to Joey Guarnagaro.
I don't even think they're going to give him a yard on that play.
Clock winding down, about 40 seconds to go in this third quarter.
I think they might get one. Yeah, they're going to try and get one more off here. Careful, Hill. 3rd and 10. Clock running out.
Kershaw. Looks like he stumbled a little bit out of the snap. Can't find his receiver.
Yeah, that's a late hit.
Flag.
That's a late hit there on
number 2, Darian Green from Mater Day. Limping.
Should know better than that.
Caleb Ward, number 17, comes up hobbling on one leg.
That stops the clock. Late hit. I think this should be a first down with the penalty.
About 23 seconds to go.
So, and again, we saw that in this first half with Mater Day. Their defense is getting too antsy and bailing them out when they don't need to. So, you saw it in the first half with a play right here on our sideline. They had Oaks Christian trapped on the side. They committed a face mask, gave them a first down, and again here. So they're going to let the clock run out.
To go. We saw shaking up a little bit on that last play. Caleb Ward, he wanted to stay in the game. Coaches thought differently, protecting the health of their players in this 47-13 game. So that's the end of 3. Mater Day, as we mentioned, with that 34-point lead over the home team, the Oaks Christian Lions. So what strategy do you go to entering the fourth quarter? Is it about getting some of these players who have not seen the field tonight more playing time?
I think, you kind of, we talked before the show came on that we're both more familiar, I think, with in terms of calling games and playing basketball than football, and you use that terminology as not garbage time, but giving the guys that don't get a chance to play a chance to play. It's 47-13, 34-point deficit. Oaks
And
just
on the other
hasn't
side,
seemed
for Mater Dei as well, we've seen
exactly.
their three feature running backs. Do
Yeah.
they start bringing in the fourth back, the fifth back to get some reps?
I would be surprised if you didn't see that from both teams, either this quarter or soon in this quarter, to get some lesser experienced players and play some PT, for sure.
And to protect these players for future games, because you're going to need these star players and starters in more competitive ball games as the season goes on.
First and 10 Lions from the 50.
Connor Kershaw under center. I believe it's Quartararo in the backfield again. Kershaw looking to go to the air.
Whoa.
Bad pass.
I don't even think he had eyes on the receiver. I think they just drew the play up and he threw it to where the play was supposed to go because he didn't even see.
Intended for Farrell.
Yeah, he didn't even. I don't even think he saw. I don't even think they locked eyes on each other. So that brings it to 2nd and 10, starting with the fourth quarter possession here for Oaks Christian.
Ball at midfield. Kershaw
to Mr. Q.
Quartararo tried to find some room on the outside, but Mater Dei with the closure.
You know, and the thing that's consistently happened that you see here, I think in the scale of which way weighs more than the other, is just the speed of Mater Dei, even on the defensive end or the offensive end. Just the overall speed. I mean, it's not to take away anything from Oaks. Very much a speed and fast team. They're short, they're low center of gravity, they're fast. But Mater Dei has just been there quicker on defensive end and offensive end.
So from the pace of setting up the plays, Oaks Christian, it looks to me like the coaches are going to more of a constructive approach about how can we get to execute our offense.
Good time here in the pocket.
Kershaw almost has one picked off, but just trying to get these players to execute at this level. And simple running plays, simple passing plays.
Yeah, and young Donovan Davis, their number 5, the intended receiver for Oaks. Great run on the pass play. Just wasn't able to keep his defender off of him at the last second. Holding him off, defender's able to come over the top and knock the ball out of the air. And you're going to see with the score like it is and the clock time left, Oaks is definitely going to like to go for it here on 4th and moderately long, 4th and 11. See if they can convert here.
Kershaw back to pass. Right across the middle of the field, there's Hendricks. He has been steady all night.
He has been, and great when he gets the ball, he's able to corral it. He's a big guy, moves the chains here. They are going to give him the first down. So the gamble, in a sense, to gain experience works. Kershaw completes a great pass over the middle. Hendricks, the biggest target he has. Time in the pocket. Offensive line did a great job. Everything worked there well for Oaks.
Really, their go-to guy from the tight end position is Hendricks. Kershaw going to the air again. He rolls out, looking for Hendricks off the fingertips.
And you see the mismatch there. Look at Hendricks and look at number 23 from Mater Dei. I mean, there's at least 3 or 4 inches of height there in size that Hendricks has on him. So you're seeing Kershaw go to Hendricks' side, take advantage of the mismatch. It worked in the middle of the field the last play. They were trying to go to outside here, but a good call there on the mismatch to go to Hendricks.
Also, we are seeing Oaks Christian move away from the shotgun. Although on this play, they're going to go back to it.
And the offensive line's had a good stint here the last 3 plays, giving the quarterback some pocket protection, so we'll see if they can keep it up.
3 wideouts, 1 running back. Kershaw looking to the corner and
just can't hang on to it.
Can't hang on. I don't know if he had enough room to really retrieve it and keep his feet in bounds if he were able to hang on.
Great effort, though.
Once again, that's one of those things that you're looking for execution and getting a rep in. That's a play that next time they try it, maybe a week from now, it ends up in a 20-yard pass completion.
Great attempt there. I mean, Ty Shamblin he had it in his hands just a little too long. I think if he had a couple more feet on the outside of that sideline, he could have corralled that in there.
Sets up a 3rd down and 10. Quartararo in the backfield. The pass rush came right away as the hands got on the ball. Kershaw really had little chance of doing anything on that play.
Pocket collapsed so fast, and he did get the pass off, but just the trees of hands that stuck up there in that passing lane broke it up. Now you're seeing a 4th and 10 here. They were at 4th and 11 last time, and they converted. So let's see if they go back to Hendricks again with the smaller defender on him. You see the mismatch. Let's see if they can convert here on 4th and 10 to keep this drive alive. Three wideouts here on the lower side of the field.
Donovan Davis, wide right.
That's
Kershaw.
what they're going to do.
Mater Dei, ooh. He ran right into the chest and arms of that big D lineman from Mater Dei. We'll see who it is coming out of the pack here. Looks like number 67.
That is, I'll let you pronounce that.
67.
Kamuta
Lavasa with the play.
And I'm not even sure Kershaw ever even saw him. I know Kershaw was running up the middle to look down.
Well,
again,
eventually he saw him up close and personal.
If he didn't see him,
right in his face.
If he didn't see him, he sure felt him, because that was just a monstrous sack there for number 67.
So taking over on downs, Mater Dei back on the field. Number 34 racing out of the huddle.
Sean Turk down here on near side.
Nathan White,
Receiver on each side. I formation in the running. Quick handoff. Good
Number
stop.
35, the ball carrier.
Good stop.
Garrett Riley, his first carry of the night.
And up goes to Garrett Riley. Tackled by Ty Ely. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 from the 49.
Is
Under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Is their same quarterback still in? Nathan White?
Nathan White still in the ballgame.
Surprised we haven't seen a rotation of other players still yet.
A lot of receivers shifting in now. We have Trevor Hedges, number 9, in at wide out for Mater Dei. White back to the running game. And number 25, as he finishes that carry with a roll.
Dean Neely there on the carry for Mater Dei.
We've seen his number called a few times tonight.
And with the Dean.
Good run on the outside of the line there. Oaks Christian definitely got hands on him, tripped him up in the last seconds there and stopped him.
Takes it to the 43-yard line of Oaks Christian.
And another first down.
At the Mater Dei first down, 1st and 10 from the 43.
38 will run back in with the play. That's Kenneth White. As he replaces Juwan Collins. Collins may be done for the night. Probably want to protect their star running back.
Michael Whitehill at top of the screen, or the field for the, what
a crushing hit.
Wow.
By number 17.
I think that's the best defensive smack they've had all night tonight, and that right there, number 17, Caleb Ward on that big hit for Oaks Christian. Good stop up the middle. So you've seen here now, Mater Dei probably a little more relaxed, conservative, running it up the middle. Oaks getting a chance to get the stops here. So we'll see if Mater Dei tries any type of anything else. I don't see them look to run up the score. You still got 4 minutes left. You're 2nd and 12. Scoring opportunities are still there, though.
And creating little goals for yourself to keep yourself competitive in this ball game. Oaks Christian probably does not want to see Mater Dei get over the 50-point mark.
Oh, good handoff. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Just right up the middle, number 25, Dean Seeley hits pay dirt.
And the time from snap to handoff was about 1 second, and I don't even think he got touched. Maybe I jinxed. I just said Mater Dei keeps running up the middle. Oaks Christian's able to collapse in the middle and stop it. He was untouched that time.
So I believe a 43-yard touchdown run by Dean Seeley, and as we mentioned before this possession, we've seen those 3 featured backs, Juwan Collins, Chris Street, Moses Cepolona Do we see the fourth back, the fifth back? We saw it on that drive. Dean Seeley getting his taste of glory as he runs right up the middle of the field for the touchdown.
Point is good, and you know,
and
how much deeper can they go? I mean, that's 4 running backs that have all scored tonight and have all shown displays of good quality future running back ability at the running back position for Mater Dei. So just extremely deep roster that they have in important positions for their football team.
And they do get over that 50-point mark, 54-13 now as the clock winds down. About 2.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Oaks Christian about to take the field to return the kickoff.
And if this works out in Oaks' favor, I think your goal here is Oaks. You want to do something offensively productive this last 2 minutes. You want to end the game on a positive note. You know, you're down 41 to a much different opponent than I'm probably going to see this year in Mater Dei for Oaks. So I think the goal here is to do something productive, get some momentum back up, know that you've put on 13 points on the board for them right now, and coach is saying, hey, we've done it before, let's do it again, let's get one more score before we go home tonight. Donovan Davis is one of the 2 people back for Oaks, along with, I believe, is that Mr. Farrell, I think, back with Mr. Davis? Our angle is too
I think Farrell's out of the game now as
and
the
that's gonna go
ground ball kickoff is retrieved
it.
by Oaks Christian. Number 3, Ty Shamblin.
Ty Shamblin
brought
got
down
that one.
24. $1:13 to go.
Again, I would think that. I would think that Oaks is looking to do something here to end the game on somewhat of a high note, whether it be an executed play. They would like to try to score. I mean, the clock's running down here, no stoppage. 1 minute left to play, so we'll see what they try to do here.
They do bring in Patrick Roberg back at quarterback for what is probably the last drive of the ball game.
And do we see, yeah, there he is, number 85, the big man.
Shotgun, 4 wideouts.
Hendricks, look for him here.
Roberg
opens it up. Right
hands off to number 28, down to the 31-yard line. Mr. Williams, ball carrier.
No different first name, it's just Mr. I like to see him do something here to Mr. Hendricks here on this low side here, number 85, the big end, the big receiver that's had a great game tonight. We've got a smaller, look at these smaller secondary players against Hendricks. So shotgun start again here. Let's see if they can complete a pass play here to go out of the game on a high note.
Roberg has to turn around with that pass rush. Number 86 in pursuit as 87 as well. Roberg runs it himself, stiff arm, as that will end the ball game. So we had a competitive game early, but the final score, the visiting team, Mater Dei High School, with a 54-13 freshman team victory over the Lions of Oaks Christian. Mater Dei moves to 2-0 on the year, Oaks Christian to 1-1. That powerful running game, really the story for Mater Dei on offense. Their defense, once they settled in, they were getting pursuit all night long on the quarterbacks of Oaks Christian and were able to stop any big plays from happening other than that 82-yard broken play touchdown we saw early in the game.
Yeah, that was their biggest play on the offensive end. A lot to talk about Mater Dei, not a lot to talk about Oaks, which is just the way that it worked out tonight. You know, this is the greatest part to hear about this. You just had a major thumping in a football game, and they're taking their time to congratulate each other, say hellos. Sportsmanship is key here. These young men are learning this at a ground level here. It's great to see that. But yeah, Mater Dei just the traditional, the national known football team showed its dominance tonight at the freshman level. Oaks Christian, a lot of work to do. Not to take away from last week's win at Chaminade, 58-0. But this weekend or tonight on the receiving end of a loss, and now they move to 500 on the year.
So that'll be it. A convincing victory for Mater Dei, 54-13 once again over the home team, Oaks Christian. We've had your coverage here for LivePlaySports.tv. I'm Patrick O'Sullivan, joined all night by Dustin Cisney, signing off.
That was fun, man. Yeah.